Let's get into it. That stung my hand, that one.
It's a good one.
I have the wife here with me. It's Soul Not For Sale podcast. We got two clips for you. We got Joe Rogan sitting with Brian Cox, and we got Everlast sitting with Joe Rogan. And what we're talking about is CERN.
Mm-hmm.
And we're talking about the Mandela effect as well.
Yes.
And what were you going to say?
I was going to say how concerning.
Oh, she does that. She does that a lot.
Puns.
As she gets more comfortable, you're going to hear more puns as time goes on. But yeah, let's get into that. I just want to say quickly, did you hear RFK Jr. Told this reporter at Fox, Jesse Waters, that he's been on Jeffrey Epstein's plane twice.
Really?
Yeah. Not
Why?
something. Well, he explained it. It made sense. It was just like going to Florida and stuff. I don't really understand, but it was like with his wife and kids in Florida and some other place, but I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. But I guess it's better that he like owns up to it.
Yeah.
Because so many people are like, no, I never knew Jeffrey Epstein. And then it comes out that they did and it looks worse.
Yeah. And The Rock just went and visited the Pentagon.
Oh, I saw your video on
Had
that.
a very productive meeting there.
Great. On what?
What's going on in the world? RFK Jr.'s on Jeffrey Epstein's plane, and The Rock is going to the Pentagon. Let's get into this. Let's get into this clip. We're talking about CERN.
Well, it makes sense.
It was
We're
about
talking
10
about
years
some
ago.
weird stuff with CERN.
But it started up, and then we had a problem with it, and then it took a while to fix. So it hasn't been taking data that long, but it's a tremendously successful thing now, and it's operating beyond its design capabilities. It's quite incredible.
It's so stunning,
It's
like
an
as a
incredible piece of
physical
work.
thing. That this, I mean, how large is it? How large is
It's
the loop?
it's 27 kilometers, so what's that, about 16 miles?
16 miles, and it's a circular,
Yeah.
sort of a building.
Well, it's a big tube. I mean, you think basically it's mainly under France and partly under Switzerland, and it accelerates protons around in a circle, both ways. One beam goes one way, one goes the other way, and they go around 11,000 times a second. So that's very close to the speed of light, 99.999999% the speed of light.
Wow.
And then we cross the beams and collide the particles. And in those collisions, you're recreating the conditions that were present less than a billionth of a second after the Big Bang. So we know that physics. So going back what you said about the carbon and the oxygen, we can trace that story back way beyond the time when there were protons and neutrons to when there were quarks and gluons around and go all the way back, and the Higgs boson doing its thing back then. And so we can see all that physics in the lab. So that's why we have a lot of confidence in that story.
It's so fascinating that they were able to talk someone into funding that they got a bunch of people together, and that you were able to explain to politicians and regular people what you're trying to do.
It's a great example of how you get something done. So it was the 50s when CERN was established. I think it was 53 or 54. Can't quite remember. It's something like that. And it was built out from the Second World War. So you have Europe at the end of the war. And it was realized that the only way forward for Europe was collaboration, to rebuild the scientific base, and for peace, for peaceful purposes. And so CERN was set up as an international collaboration in Europe initially, with that political ideal that it would explore nature just for freely and for peace, for peaceful means, peaceful reasons. And so that was the politics was right. So it was set up by international treaty, so that the member states are bound together by a treaty, and they pay a small amount, relatively small amount each, into CERN every year, which is a percentage of their GDP. And that's the money they use to do the experiments and build the accelerators. So it's very hard to get out of it. And you wouldn't really want to, because it's a small amount of money per country. And CERN doesn't get extra money to build things. It just takes its money and basically saves up and plans itself. But because it's got a regular stream of money, it can do it. So it can say, we're going to build this machine, and it will take 8 years, because that's how much money we've got, and we'll build it in 8 years, and we know how much money we've got, so we can do it. And it's a lesson. I mean, the reason that the US collider, the SSC, failed is because it's the problem you have in the US with the funding system, as you've seen in the last few weeks, is that it's very arbitrary and it's open to political maneuvering, and things can be shut down and CERN is not like that. CERN has got a guaranteed stream of funding, small, from each country, and so you can do these projects.
And the one in the U.S., that was during the Clinton administration? Is that what it was?
Yeah, it was was it Clinton? It was closed down by Congress on a very slim vote, and it was in Texas. So it was one of those things where you got states vying for money, and it was half built, and everyone was there, you know. And the thing, it was bigger than the LHC, and it was closed down. So you waste a lot of money.
Is that a huge disappointment for the scientific community? Like, were people very hopeful that this was going to go live?
Yeah, it was being built. Yeah. So it dug half the tunnel. What
would it be able to do that the LHC couldn't do?
It was a higher energy accelerator than the LHC. So it would have discovered the Higgs particle first, had it been running.
But the half-built part, is it useless now? Or can they sort of recharge it up again?
No, I think they filled it in. I think so. Oh. I mean, it was just half a tunnel, you know. So that's the thing. You can do these wonderful things for not a lot of money if you just do it over many years and have stable funding and just commit to doing it.
The filling it in part is like...
And you look at CERN as well, and people ask me now, I think the UK pays about $100 million a year. That's what the UK pays in. And it's about the same for Germany, same for France, and so on. And so people say, what do we get for that? I mean, first of all, it's not... The whole budget of CERN is about the same as the budget of a medium-sized university. So it's not a lot. It's about $1 billion a year or something, which is what a university has. So it's not a lot in the scheme of things. What's it done, though? Well, we invented the World Wide Web, as we've just said. A lot of the medical imaging technology that we use comes from CERN. It's pioneered the use of these very high field magnets, which is what it needed. So it's engineering at the edge. And engineering at the edge generates spin-offs and expertise to get used in other fields. So there's cancer treatment, so-called hadron beam therapy. So if you've got a brain tumour now, it's quite likely that you'll have one of these targeted particle beam therapies, which is like very highly targeted sort of chemotherapy. It's not chemotherapy, it's just radiation that you can target in a beam into your head and attack the tumour. And those are particle accelerators. So most particle accelerators today are in hospitals and in medicine.
Wow.
But they came from doing particle physics. So the spin-offs of these big experiments at the edge of our capability are always immense, which is why they're worth funding at these very low levels. But it's not just the knowledge, it's the engineering expertise.
That there is a practical application for everyday life.
There always is. It's just finding out how to do hard things is usually useful.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Such a nerd, this guy.
Yeah.
So happy about it.
He's so happy.
He's so happy about it. He's like, and they only give us $1 billion, and
$1 billion a year.
They should give us like 40 because this is amazing stuff. Which he's right, I guess. Like
it came up with like MRIs and everything.
Yeah. Built the World Wide Web, he said.
That's what he said.
I don't understand that part.
I don't know.
But it does make sense because it was a gentleman who was from the UK who built the internet.
Okay, so maybe he was like part of CERN or something.
Interesting, very interesting. And then
CERN was around as like a group before they built the Large Hadron Collider, which is what they're best known for.
Oh, okay.
So the collider started running in 2008.
That's what it is. And sorry for anybody who was listening and they're like, this wasn't loud enough. You got to turn up your phone, your TVs. That was a oddly low clip. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I tried to turn it up for you guys, but I don't know. Very weird. But yeah, very odd.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. Well, here's the thing that stood out to me. He said it was built just after World War II.
Yeah.
There's a whole rabbit hole of the World War II bad guys and how they were deep into the occult.
Yeah.
And they were trying to communicate with things on the other side, whether this be aliens or deities or entities, demons, whatever you want to classify them as. They were trying to talk to the other side. And some people speculate that's where their scientists got their wild amount of knowledge and kind of lines up, if you're a watcher of this show, kind of lines up with, and we're going to show you another clip in a second, kind of lines up with Jack Parsons and how he had all his knowledge.
Yeah.
Wasn't very trained, but was deep into the occult.
True.
And this connects me to saying that maybe they're trying to find a portal to hell. And the only reason I say that is because one of the first articles I pulled up, it was like, fact check. No, they're not building a portal to hell. And
I
was
know.
like,
when they have to deny it, like, I didn't ask.
yeah,
but thanks.
exactly. It didn't come up in my mind at all.
Yeah.
But you guys threw it out there really quick.
Mm-hmm.
Portal to hell. I want to find that article. But yeah, they're right away. They're like, we're not building a portal to hell.
Yeah.
Very odd. There you go. Fact check.
Just in
Scientists
case, guys.
at CERN are not trying to open portals to hell. A lot of speculation. People, honestly, at the end of the day, these people don't really know what they're opening.
They have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah, when they do this,
They're just testing to see what happens.
Exactly. So
And
they
that's
could.
the whole point.
So maybe they're not trying to, but they could.
Yeah.
If hell's like a real place, you know what I mean? Like they're opening something to somewhere.
Yeah, they could do a lot of things.
Yeah.
They could like open a little mini black hole and suck us all in.
Yeah, exactly. There's a lot going on. I asked ChatGPT to make it for me. I said,
CERN?
Chat, yep. I said, make it dystopian. Make it like it opened a portal in a universe to another universe, and this is what it came up with.
Oh.
You know what? I'm not down for a chip in my head, but I like what this ChatGPT thing's doing for me. I gotta admit. Well, we got another clip for you guys, and this clip, this clip's more in the vein of Joe Rogan. You're about to hear just two guys smoking a joint, talking about what CERN can possibly be. You ready for this?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's get into it.
A wild one. All right, I went on, one night fucking smoking. I went on a little YouTube wormhole situation, and somehow, I don't even know if it's a YouTube video or somewhere else, but I wound up on this video that was like, world's smartest kid thinks that CERN blew the world up in 2008. All right. And I'm like, what the fuck? So I go on this video, right? And I'm watching this video, dude. And it's this young kid. He's like 12, and the motherfucker's talking. You got to invest like 20 minutes into this kid talking about things that are super smart. And it's kind of like to show you he's super smart. You know what I mean? This kid. And his dad's doing the recording, I believe, or a relative, somebody very close to him. And he goes into this whole theory of how he thinks when they collided the electrons, I believe, in the super collider, CERN, that they caused some crazy chain reaction that blew up the universe. But they also they created an atom that weighed too much, and the first 20 minutes is also explaining infinite parallel universes. So what the kid winds up with is this theory of like, one atom weighing too much and is that being just enough to shift our universe into a parallel universe. Yeah, this is it right here, dude. So this kid had me fucked up, because after I watched this, everything I saw for months was talking about, like, it would be a news guy on the news, like, I don't know what universe I'm in anymore, or it's Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse. Like everything I saw for like 4 or 5 months after watching this video was like multiverse shit, like shit about multiverses, and it's got me fucked up, Joe.
I hear you. I'm fucked up too now.
Fucked up, man.
Listen, read this paragraph. Look at what it says there. He claims that CERN destroyed the universe during recent experiments, which has resulted in us living in a nearby parallel universe instead.
You're welcome, Eddie.
There's a lot of people online that think this is an explanation for all the Mandela effect things that people keep finding
he goes
online.
into stuff about the Mandela effect, how there's like apparently a bunch of people who think Mandela died in prison,
right?
And like there's as far as I know, he was released, became president of South America. That's the universe I'm from, just personally. But it's crazy, dude. Because it's not just this video. It's like you watch it, and that YouTube algorithm starts sending you down a whole bunch of other, you start hearing and it's like, and then again, everything that came out, there was all these shows I would see, or movies, or news things about the multiverse all of a sudden was everywhere around me. It was fucking nutty, dude. So I'm fucked up about that shit right now.
Well, if there was something they could do that might open up a door to a parallel universe, you don't think they would do it?
Stranger Things, you mean?
Yeah.
Say that's
This
the goal.
is Stranger Things. I mean, things are strange, right? It is
Fucking
Stranger Things.
Bizarro world.
You know what's the weirdest one? Is the people that dismiss climate change. That is the weirdest one to me. So I'm like, I'm trying to figure out what's the benefit of dismissing climate change.
You know what? I love that I let that clip run because Joe Rogan has changed his tune on climate
I was
change.
thinking that too.
He has massively
I was like, I
changed
know this
his
is an
tune.
old one, but
Yeah. He has changed his tune severely on climate change.
that's so funny.
Now he has like farmers on and they're talking about people making money and this and that. And yeah, very, very interesting. That was Everlast. Everlast, you've never heard of Everlast.
No.
She's younger than I am. Everlast was a musician, rapper of sorts.
Really?
Yeah, he even had a beef with Eminem at one point. And I only bring that up to say, like, he should know to not be over here with his microphone, over there with the mic. Like, he should know to be talking into the microphone.
He's so excited.
Yeah.
He's amped up.
Yeah. This is back when Joe used to get barbecued on the show. Like, just with whoever. Didn't matter. Scientist, pregnant woman, didn't matter. He was just going in. No pregnant women. But yeah, CERN.
Those clips are too funny. They're
What?
so different.
Oh,
Between
yeah.
Brian Cox and this guy.
Oh, yeah.
It's
And
hilarious.
that's why people love Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Because he's willing to talk to somebody who's like a super nerd and then talk to some guy that's like, yo, this kid said that the universe is exploded. That's how it was. That's why people love Joe.
Yeah, but that is the theory that when the Large Hadron Collider first started in 2008, that it put us into a different universe.
Yes. And I believe it.
Yeah. Well, it's funny if you think about like the timeline too, because the person who coined the term Mandela effect and first started talking about it, her name is Fiona Broom. She was like a paranormal consultant is her title.
Okay.
So in 2009, she, I guess, realized that her memories of Mandela dying in prison lined up with a lot of other people's.
Yeah.
And she was like shocked to believe that he was still alive.
Wow.
So then she started calling it the Mandela effect. So it was less than a year after CERN started running the collider.
That's very interesting.
Yeah. So that's why people think that, just because it's like very convenient timing.
There's just so many things.
Yeah.
Huh. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't even realize, like, when you sent me this article here, I didn't even realize they were talking about Trump being president.
Yeah.
Living in an alternate universe.
It's so funny.
And then I guess that's exactly what you were saying. I'm sorry that the clip cut you off, but you're like, yeah, we're talking about weird things happening in different universes. And it's like RFK is on Jeffrey
Yes, that's
Epstein's
exactly
plane.
what I was going with.
And The Rock is, going to the Pentagon because they need to discuss things with him.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
None of it makes any sense.
Exactly.
But I'm here for it because whatever happened put me in this position. So,
True. That's a good way to think about it.
You were supposed to marry some kind of billionaire and it shifted and you ended up.
I did marry some kind of billionaire.
Oh, I hope so. Introduce me to him, please. But what else? What else do you got on this whole thing? And let me know which articles, if any, you want me to.
I don't have any to read. I just think the headlines are funny.
Yeah.
Because they're either like super dismissive or like really into it.
Yeah, that's what I was just pulling up. There's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Vice had one about the mass collection, or sorry, causing.
The Vice one made me laugh because it was like an investigation.
They used to do all sorts of investigations.
Yeah, how do you even investigate that?
Antimatter. There's so many things that CERN is accused of with what they've been doing. But what is? It's the Hadron Collider.
Yeah. So the Large Hadron Collider.
Okay.
Is what does it. It's like 17 miles long, like a big loop. So it's, I think he said like 26 kilometers or something. And they basically just like fire beams around it and collide particles to see what happens.
Yeah.
So they don't really know. Like obviously they can have like predictive things, but the biggest discovery to come out of there was the Higgs boson, which was theorized before but never even proved that it technically existed.
Okay.
Until they found evidence of it.
Oh.
So they don't really know what's going on. They're just testing things and hoping for the best.
That's crazy. It's crazy that we allowed them to do that.
Yeah. And they also call the Higgs boson the God particle because it generates a mass in all things.
Oh, okay.
And you can also detect dark matter with the Higgs boson particle.
Yeah, honestly, I'm sure you have some science in your notes or something, but I think they're trying to open something up.
That's a science that's way beyond me anyway, so I don't think I'd even be able to explain past that.
I really think they are trying to open something up there because they're just smashing things together, and it's like, oh, don't worry about it, guys.
Yeah.
And if anything happens, like if something like that did happen universally, they wouldn't tell us.
That's true.
They wouldn't.
Or they wouldn't know, and they would flip over with us.
Or that.
And just keep going.
Or they wouldn't know.
How would they know?
But also, it's like if somebody passed away in that facility because of something they did, they wouldn't say anything.
True.
Like if someone just disappeared.
Oh.
They'd be like
if they just blinked out of existence all of a sudden.
They'd be like, well, let's keep going,
oh
guys.
Oh my gosh. And they're like a particle now, like flying around that thing.
Yeah. Or they just start talking. Like, guys, can you see me? Guys. And he's like in the particles. Yeah, who knows? But you were really focused on the Mandela effect.
Yeah.
Which I did not know CERN was the reason for the Mandela effect.
Yeah, that's when people started talking about it.
I didn't know there was a connection there at all.
Yeah.
I thought that was just some weird deja vu like thing that happened to most of us.
Yeah, I think it's only weird when it's like people talk about it and then there's collective group memories.
Yeah.
Of things being not as they are today.
Yeah. Like Berenstain, like I know Berenstain.
Yeah, it's not Berenstain.
Berenstain doesn't even make any sense.
No. But then if you scroll down on this article a little bit, there's a link to like a Reddit user or something who posted a picture of an old VHS tape that says Berenstain, the way we know.
Okay. The way we know.
Yeah, with the EIN instead of the AIN.
Okay.
It's on the side there.
Yeah.
So it fully says it the way that we all think it should be.
And other people are like, no.
But everything else, like all the books, even like on the top writing, it says Berenstain. So this VHS tape has two different spellings on it right away.
Oh, wait. So it's not Berenstain.
It's not.
No, that doesn't make any sense.
It's Berenstain. It's AIN at the end.
No. No. It's Berenstain.
No.
Listen, I think I've said this before because we've talked about this. I grew up in a Jewish community. It's always steen. There's no stains.
No.
It's always, like I grew up with some steins.
Yeah.
Like it's always stein.
But there's
no stain.
Look at the authors of the book.
Who are the authors of the book? Jan Berenstain? No.
Yeah.
No.
Their last name is Berenstain.
No. Come on. Come on. That's ridiculous.
But yeah, when they posted the picture of the VHS tape, that's why I was like, oh my God. Because there's never been like actual proof of it being like that.
Wait, there's another one? I want to play a game. It's not I want to play a game? Is that what you're saying? What's going on here? Saw movies, Jigsaw actually says, I want to play a game. What do people say? Let's play a game. No.
I don't know. There's a whole bunch here. Some of them I agree with. Some of them I don't. But the Berenstain one was the craziest because it actually had proof.
Mickey Mouse has a tail? No. Mickey Mouse never had a tail. No. Are they saying he did? Is that what they're saying in this one?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, he's a tail.
No. Come on.
What was the other crazy thing I saw in here? There was like one more.
I want to go back to my universe.
I know, right?
Grease is actually greased.
It's not grease lightning. It's greased lightning.
Greased lightning.
Yeah. For me, the one that always gets me is there's no hyphen in Kit Kat, like the chocolate bar.
Oh, yeah?
I always thought there was.
There's no hyphen?
Yeah. Like between Kit Kat.
No, there's no hyphen.
No, there's not.
Why are they saying?
I just thought there was one.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
That makes sense that you're from a different universe. That's why you like puns. In your universe,
I love puns.
Puns were hilarious.
Puns are the most wholesome form of humor.
That's why you like Mitch Hedberg when I first showed you Mitch Hedberg.
I can't remember who that is now, but I'm sure he's punny.
He's the guy with like the glasses, and he's like, hey, if you want something really good, if you want 2,000 of something really good, rice. Like you remember? I showed her parents that too.
Now.
They were like, "Oh wow, this guy is great."
That's so funny.
Little did they know he OD'd.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Rice.
He's a great guy.
And then this is talking about as well a little later the Monopoly man not having a monocle.
Not having one?
He doesn't have a monocle. But everybody thinks he does.
No, he does. He never had a monocle.
No, he doesn't have a monocle. But
He
most
never
people
did.
think he does.
I played a lot of Monopoly as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I should do? My mom has a Monopoly set from like when she was growing up.
Really?
I should go check that one.
Yeah, check it out.
'Cause it's
Curious
like
George
60s.
never had a tail. That doesn't make sense. He's a monkey.
Yeah, that's weird. He's
Come
just
on.
wandering around like that.
Oh, in the song that never ends from Lamb Chops is actually saying the song that doesn't end. This is the song that never ends. No, they're wrong.
Yeah, they're wrong.
They're wrong. It's spelled Febreze, not Febreze.
I don't care how it's spelled.
Mm.
I don't pay attention and don't buy Febreze. So
Coming from somebody who was a very young marijuana smoker, I can tell you I do not remember. I sprayed a lot of it and I smoked a lot. So
great. I think you smoked a lot of it too.
Neither are good for your brain. So
Yeah.
Ricky, you don't even know about I Love Lucy, do you?
I've watched a couple episodes, but not enough to know
Really?
common things. Yeah.
He actually said, "Lucy, you got some splaining to do."
He never said it.
He never said it?
Yeah, that's what it's saying.
Oh, get out of here. Yes, he did.
Apparently not.
Of course he did. It's ridiculous. So what else?
We don't have to go through all of those, but
No, I'm not gonna go through all of them.
there's a lot.
I just stopped at the one that you were talking about.
Yeah, but they're entertaining. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
So, what do you actually think that they're doing? With
I don't
CERN?
think they're intending to do like alternate universe stuff.
Yeah.
I think they're just playing with things they don't understand. Same as like GMO crops and things. They're just like trying things and seeing what happens.
I think that they are a very cleaned up version of Jack Parsons, Aleister Crowley, and all of those occultists. Because science and the occult go hand in hand with a lot of things that they practice and do.
Yeah.
You know, maybe not the same things, but it's the same practicing of things in, you know, in the darkness, alone, isolated, trying to figure things out, mixing things together. Alchemy itself is considered part of the occult. That was also considered part of science, and it's also connected to chemistry. So it's like I think they're a very cleaned up version of that, and that they do know what they're doing. They are trying to open something up, and they're just not going to tell everybody.
Yeah, well, that could be true.
They seem like a very that's all it is. It seems like a very cleaned up version of it. You're like, oh, we're just taking particles and slamming them together. No, we don't. We just, you know, just to see what happens. That doesn't even make sense.
Yeah. But
Why?
it's crazy that they came up with so many like discoveries out of that.
And so many governments of the world
Are paying them $1 billion a year.
to just see what happens.
Just a small amount.
That doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
That makes no sense. It just doesn't. Doesn't make any sense.
It's true.
Right? That's what I think. I think they're just like Jack Parsons, and they're gaining knowledge from what they're doing. They're not sharing that knowledge with us, and they are opening up something. Because on top of all the odd stuff that we just went through, what about the odd stuff of how much evil is in the world right now? Evil wasn't like a prevalent thing. It wasn't a prevalent thing to see, you know, Sam Smith, like people like that
True.
dressed as Satan. You'd have guys with long hair that were like, you know, you'd have Kiss and stuff like that, but we wouldn't have what
But that
you
was like
see
all like
today.
dressed in black. And
Yeah, exactly.
different.
It's so prevalent now
Yeah.
in everything.
And like very like
Hip-hop.
obvious too. Like not even alluded to. Just this is what we're doing.
Exactly. From a Taylor Swift concert to Sam Smith to every single hip hop artist now. Like how right now we live in a world where it's okay to riot and loot, and you know there are people who fight to not have those people prosecuted and just want them back on the streets. Like we're in a very odd time where I talked about this in another video when I was listening to Tucker Carlson, and he's talking about the truth, and Jimmy Dore even brought up how Tucker Carlson got fired. And he didn't get fired for lying. He got fired for telling the truth. And it seems like people now are getting penalized over and over and over again for telling the truth.
Yeah.
And Tucker Carlson brought something up in one of these speeches. He said, go back and look up the past 15 people that got canceled because of what they said, and go see if they weren't telling the truth. Why are people getting their lives torn apart? Because they're telling the truth about things.
Yeah.
I don't know. It seems like we opened up something. It doesn't seem like the natural progression of societies all over the world is to start converting to this weird acceptance of evil, of bad. This doesn't seem, it seems so off.
Yeah.
And everybody can feel it. Everybody can feel like, oh, this is weird that we're accepting all these things. You know?
Yeah, that's true.
I had a video of Oliver Anthony reading the Bible. And they were like, can't have that. I was like, what?
What?
Why? It makes no
That's so
sense.
crazy.
It makes no sense. Like, there's so many things that are just so upside down right now. So I think I'm going to blame CERN completely
There you
for all
go.
this. Not completely, but again, it just seems like if somebody opened up something, I think it's them.
Yeah.
Here. I'll do the little movie script, okay? Here's the
Oh my
movie
gosh.
script, right? Right? There are factions from all over the world, right? All facets of society, and they're all doing bad things. And they know that as they accept bad things and they get the public to accept bad things, they start cultivating darkness. And that darkness is actually used by the people at CERN because they're not just smashing together particles. They're actually trying to like ignite something. It's like you know, two people, or when one person tries to like start a fire. They're trying to start a fire. They have a flint and they're trying to start a fire. They use evil to do that. And CERN is the flint. So they get a little stick of evil and they get a flint that's CERN, and they're going like this and they're trying to start this fire to open up some kind of portal. Right? Sorry, I said CERN. No, this is a different universe. So it's just like schmiggly schmoo and, you know, just, yeah, it's not this
Whatever
world.
acronym.
Yeah. It's a different world. Jason Statham is like the main character, you know?
Perfect.
Yeah, and The Rock is the evil guy. No, The Rock's a good guy. No, The Rock's fat in this universe. So he's just chilling. he's watching the movie.
Yeah.
But you know what I mean? Like that's what this movie would be about. And finally they open it up, and as they get closer and closer to opening it up, the world gets more and more off course in terms of going towards an evolution that is good and ascended, and goes deeper into this abyss of darkness and in lies and just terribleness that's been going on. And that would be the movie.
It's a good movie.
And finally they open it up and people realize, and now they got to fight to get it closed.
Jeez.
That'd be cool. Because what's going to come through? We're seeing things come through. Like go right now, go look up Doja Cat Demons. Go look up that music video and watch it. If it's nighttime where you are, don't watch it.
Is
If
it
it's
scary?
It's called Demons, and it's just about demons. It's very dark and then she has this alter ego that she embraces. You know, Eminem used to have an alter ego, and it was Slim Shady, and it was a guy that would run around and cause mayhem. He was like Dennis the Menace.
Oh.
That's what Slim Shady was. It was like an alter ego,
Okay.
right? Doja Cat's alter ego is a demon that's covered in blood.
Ew. That's gross.
And she has statues of it that have been popping up all over California that are art installations of a demon.
That's crazy.
It's naked
Ew.
in public. It doesn't.
And that's fine.
Yeah, and that's fine. It doesn't. It's crazy. It's so crazy. And it goes right back to what Elon Musk said when he was on Joe Rogan. He was like, it's like the left is engaged in this weird death cult. They have no problem with homelessness. They have no problem with everything that's happening on the streets. You know, and then I take it as, you know, they have no problem with looting. They have no problem with rioting. All of these things are good. They have no problem with cities getting burnt down, businesses getting closed. Like, they have no problem with any of this stuff. It just seems so evil. I've gotten very off the topic of CERN. I'm sorry.
Schmiggly schmoo.
Yeah. No, that was all just a movie. Someone write that movie for me. Write it up. Credit me at the end, not at the beginning. I don't want to get hurt. Credit me at the end when it's already out. So what else? You got anything?
No, that's it.
All right, guys. Like and subscribe, and let me know what you think about everything I just said. If you could feel this weird feeling that everybody's feeling. You know, everybody's been talking about the next 12 months because we're less than a year away from the election happening. And it seems like as this election is decided, is going to be it's going to be where things get very chaotic in some way, shape, or form. Whether that's chaos through law and order being exacted everywhere. Because oddly enough, if there's chaos in terms of like, you know, wildness, that's chaos one way. But for law and order to sweep through everything that's happening right now, that will cause its own chaos as well. You know?
Yeah.
If all of a sudden it's like people who riot and do things or running into stores all of a sudden have to answer into the law and like go to jail.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden it's like 1,000 19-year-olds are all going to jail for 5 years. People are going to be like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah, that's true.
If the border gets closed and like now there's like some kind of more than a penalty, but it's like a stopping and a turn back type of thing, that's going to cause its own brand of chaos. It's funny how that works. The chaos that's going on now is one thing, and then there will be chaos in order to make it all into law and order and exact proper consequences.
Yeah.
Should be fun. And that's what I think about CERN. Thanks a lot, CERN. All right, guys, like and subscribe. We're out.
Bye.